Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of the Star Wars Minute. It's your daily podcast where we analyze, scrutinize, and celebrate the rise of Skywalker 1 minute at a time. I'm Alex Robinson from alexrobinson.fun.
I'm Pete the Retailer from PeteTheRetailer.com.
And I'm Chris Radtke from Star Wars Minute on TikTok.
Welcome back, Chris Radtke. Before we commence with the minute, we'll have to wrap up yesterday's business. We had a match game challenge yesterday. The minute ended on Palpatine saying it will be blank. Mm-hmm. And let's have the panel reveal their answers. Pete, what do you have?
It doesn't make any sense, but I wrote, it will be blood.
It will be blood.
It will be blood,
Anderson.
Starring Daniel Day-Lewis.
In the house. Chris Radtke, you want to reveal your answer?
It will be unnatural.
I had a slightly similar approach. I said it will be a tragedy.
Oh,
like Darth Plagueis.
Yeah.
Turns out the correct answer is it will be yours. He is saying
it will be fun.
Will be yours.
It'll be a good time.
If he does as Sheev,
it'll be a goof.
If he does as Sheev asks,
it'll be a spoof and a goof.
And then it ends a minute later with Poe Dameron asking Chewie if he's going. Nudge, nudge.
You going?
Is he just sitting on the potty trying? He's like, no, let's come out here.
Right.
Well, anyway,
it's a long process of finally getting Chewbacca toilet trained.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, he's 200. It's time.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's continue with Sheev and Kylo and their crazy adventures on Exegol. I want to call attention to Palpatine's appearance because it's
Palpatine appears courtesy of Sith Legends.
Suits by Botany 500.
Botany 500.
His face is not one thing I do like. I will give credit to the sequels is that they're giving their own stamp on Palpatine. Certainly, he has a different look than the other other appearances. So he's not all scarred as we mentioned yesterday. His eyes are all clouded over. Mm-hmm. I was wondering if Ian McDermott. He said that they used very little prosthetics in this version of Palpatine.
They used my natural age.
This is all Ian McD, baby.
He's grown into
those
the part.
milky film on those eyes. That's all me. Blink, blink, blink.
So it's funny though. You'd think he would be younger then, because if he was a clone that was grown in,
I'm trying to think of something else that rhymes.
If he's a clone that was grown in his secret home. But anyway, I'm going to guess that he is not wearing contact lenses. That this is all CGI on his eyes. He said that the lenses he wore as Palpatine were very irritating and stung his eyes. So I'm going to guess that they're just like, oh, we'll just do it all at CGI, Ian, baby, this time around.
Makes sense.
But
I'm not sure about the clone situation either. I don't think it is necessarily a clone body. I think they're using clone stuff to. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. We don't know, and that's good.
It clearly is not important for us to know.
Yeah,
it's in the mystery box. It's in that patented Star Wars mystery box.
And I have
that my grandfather gave me.
He found it in the attic.
Yes.
Why did you have this when you were old enough?
The strobe effect on Palpatine. Mm-hmm. I have mixed feelings about it. On the one hand, I find it irritating because it's almost like you're in a fun house and it's just trying to disorient you. But I do like how it's a very simple effect that gives him a very different look. Like his appearance changes very dramatically just because of the lighting, if it's above or below. And I think that does look really cool. And it reflects sort of how Palpatine's always kind of like has had multiple faces that, you know what I mean?
He looks different in all the every time you see him.
The incarnations and stuff.
Yes.
It almost made me wonder or wish that they'd kind of pushed it more, and as his face was like strobing, you would see like a young Palpatine in there, or you know what I mean? Like a different kind of
like Pazuzu.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, like a kind of Pazuzu thing. But I'll go in favor of the strobe. I think overall, it's a positive look. But
I would like to see. I don't think they did this, but it would be interesting to see our friends the Oral Knots if they redub this scene with some techno music and like loud crowd noise, and they're having this conversation trying to have it over like a loud crowd, like,
and all the
what can you give me? Like, what?
We've been partying here under the ice for decades. And that's all they do down there. It's like the cloning is there to keep the party going.
Yeah. They should just held up their drinks as the ice was all falling and then just catch the ice in their drinks.
Don't you like the beat?
The thing should have come out of like soap bubbles, and all the soap would come pouring down, and they're like, yeah, like in a rave type setting. So, oh man, phone party. So Palpatine issues his deal. He's like, if you want this fleet, you have to do one thing, and that's kill the girl.
Kill her.
Kill the girl. I do love that he doesn't have to say what, like, I would also like to see a misinterpretation of that. Like, kill the girl, like, right. And he goes, and like, next thing you see, like,
and it's like a sequence of him bringing dead girls to him. No, not her. Right. No, not her.
You know, the girl with the things.
Yeah.
It's Sly Moore is who he meant all along. That was who he,
right.
Yeah. So you mean the woman? That's what he should have said.
Oh, yeah.
You did pretty good, Adam Driver.
Oh, thanks.
Well, and I have a question as to his next line too.
Yes.
Now,
what is his next line? That's my question.
It's what's my line? No, he's like, kill the girl, end the Jedi. Now,
and take the cannoli.
He's saying, end the Jedi, like
yes,
and stop the Jedi, not kill the girl and the Jedi, because I can see that also being a thing. Where he's like, kill the girl and the Jedi. Great. Okay, so I'm killing two people. And he's like, no, kill one person. He's like, okay, wait, the girl or the Jedi? He's like, no. Yeah. Kill the girl and the Jedi. Great. Okay, so both of them. You want me to kill both of them? Like, no. Like, I want this to be a comedy routine.
I assume even Ahsoka, who I assume is still alive at this point.
While techno music is playing, yeah.
Yeah, totally. I assume you meant Ahsoka, because Ahsoka's probably still alive at this point.
Don't say probably still alive. That's you being flip. We don't know.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
She's not. She may not be alive. She may be dead.
Dave Filoni will never kill Ahsoka. Are you kidding me?
He'll keep putting her in everything he does.
Oh, listen to you two.
And once this time travel thing goes, once this time travel portal opens up,
I know where your hearts lie.
It's garbage. It's garbage.
No, you don't know. You don't know nothing.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so he also says, do what your grandfather, Darth Vader, could not.
Right. And, well, Vader. He doesn't Darth him.
Oh yeah.
Which is also Vader, like, that's a little bit of like, Vader.
Yeah.
Just like, like
with Darth Vader.
We don't grant him the rank of master. Also, like, Darth is kind of strong.
You think he rescinded
after
it?
The stuff he pulled.
Yeah.
Although I do also like that. Here's another thing where he had to specify. He's like, "When your grandfather Vader could not." He's like, "Oh, not Oven, like Han Solo's dad, like who abandoned him."
What's
my other grandfather,
Oven.
What? Oven.
Did you say his
name Oven?
Oven Solo.
Yeah. Han Solo's
I like your Oven. Grandfather. And this sets him. I must find Oven.
Yeah.
Right.
Oven Solo.
I thought he meant Bail. I thought he meant Bail Organa. That's who I thought he meant.
Oh.
So it is. Yeah, he's got a lot of grandparents, this kid.
Yeah, wait a minute. Was he? Oh yeah, technically, yeah, right. Bail's there too. So it could be. Yeah. We've got three possible grandfathers. Yeah. Three possible grandfathers.
Oven, Anakin, and Bail.
Yeah.
Wow.
So anyway. And I feel like to picture the Force Ghost Anakin being like, hey, like that he has to throw in a casual slam.
I'm here,
Yeah.
And then cut to like Force Ghost Vader, but what's up? I was in the other room. Somebody talking about me?
What is he eating in that situation?
Yeah. By the way, we're at a rocky road, so next time one of those Sith
when we get out of this ice, we can go on an ice cream run.
Yeah.
Sith ice.
Yeah. Ice. So then they make the deal that. Then also, he says, you'll get the fleet, and he says, Rey is not who you think she is.
Well, it doesn't say Rey. Again,
he says
room for
she is-
ambiguity here. It's like, oh, the girl. Remember that
That
girl we were
girl.
talking about?
Marie
Marie
Skywalker.
Skywalker.
Marie.
You must go find her. She's been in trouble all this time.
There is another.
And by this point, Marie, again, like,
Yeah.
she's just kind of,
She's just an old lady now. And she's like
Yeah.
that
Yeah, she's
nasty
like
old
gonna-
lady living in Cowell Gardens. Been there.
how you doing, honey?
Exactly.
What? Who?
No.
Who sent you? She?
Go to,
I don't know.
Go
what
to
she is.
Mazzola's. It's much better than Caputo's. Yeah.
But that he, like, that moment. So picture that moment outside of the,
With no context.
like, well, but just picture it, like, not in the movie, but just picture it in person. You're there, and it's like, oh, beware, she's not who you think she is. And he's like, who is she? And then it's dramatic lightning. And then we cut away, but like they're still sitting there. Like who is she? Like dramatic lighting, and like they're both just sitting there for a minute. And you're like, oh, well,
You should totally like be
who
pulled,
is she?
pulled back into the wall, and the like a cabinet closes behind them. or
No, when
something.
it cuts to when it cuts right after the lightning hits, they're both like, "Oh my god, did you see that? That was like we almost planned it. Oh my god!"
Oh, you said who is she? And I was like, oh, the lighting. Oh,
Whoa, it was like a
should
movie.
have been filming that. Sit
Well,
that light.
I
Were
know.
you filming that? No. Starwalk? No. Oh.
I know you're busy and eager to get going, so I'll see you later. Make sure you
Go
come
out,
back.
Go out. Those fake little hands. He's got those little like. Keep going.
Yeah.
Right.
I definitely wish they played up the puppet body more and had it be more like,
Yes. That, like the acolytes were
how
working
do you
some
do that?
dials, and
String,
he'd be
like
like,
a marionette.
and he'd be like, okay, so you stop moving me.
And they're out with like rod, like the like on the Muppet Show,
Yeah.
the guy's wearing like all black, hiding behind him, where they're like moving rods around to move his hands.
And he's like, you will be able to. And they're like, and then Kylo Ren's like, I can see guys. The guys, I can see them. They clearly
Pay no attention to those guys.
clearly have rods on your hands. He's like,
He cuts them and Palpatine.
what are you
flops
talking
down.
about?
Yeah. The other possible explanation that I think could be cool is if this isn't really Palpatine, but that these Sith cultists are so devoted to him that they basically made a clone and basically convinced it that it's Palpatine, even though it's just a monstrosity or
Ooh, I
whatever.
like that. It's really,
And then
it's
that,
Moff
It
Gideon.
doesn't have its own.
Yeah, it's Moff Gideon.
It doesn't have its own force powers, which is why
Yeah.
they need. They've set up a whole like thing, which is why they need Kylo Ren to come.
That's
and we'll
interesting.
imbue him with dark side force.
Yeah.
That's a cool plan.
Give him
Cool
the
idea.
Star
Yeah.
Wars.
Next
The
time.
more you read about the Sith cultists, which I don't recommend reading too much because then it starts to get really silly. But it seems like they're just like they've been just totally toiling, thanklessly for 30, 40 years, whatever. So makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They built the fleet.
Anything else
Like
about
ships.
Sheevan? Anything else about those guys before we move into lighter pastures?
Oh yeah, this is your last licks for Sheev for the week.
Well,
And Adam Driver.
Chris, you
You've already
want to say goodbye? Oh yeah, this is it for you. This is it for you and Palpatine. This long and winding road.
potentially, yes. Thanks, Sheev. Thanks for everything. You, even when no one wanted you around, you made the best of the situations that you were in. Always.
And you got to give Ian McDermott credit. He had some great stuff with this character.
He's a guy that in 1983 was like, I wish they had given me more. I could have killed it. And wishes do come true. That guy got to really take a character who was a real, in J.J. Abrams's grandpa's mystery box. We didn't know much about him. We still don't know much about him, other than he really likes to pull them strings. Let's talk about the other guys.
Ironic that the puppeteer has become the puppet.
Ironic.
So,
now we
moving on to
the Wookiees.
it's Millennium Falcon. We all love the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah. Now, so compare and contrast, and you know, made by the same guy, so it's not even like I'm saying one guy corrected the other one's thing. But if you remember, if you rewind the tape, play back this episode of The Force Awakens, and one of my complaints, I felt like
not enough computer chess.
Well, no, the chess and the chessboard and the remote were too much. That fell into my 15% too much fan service, where it was just like, oh, he backs in, oh, we turn on the board, oh, remember this? And it was just like, ba-da-da. That's it. That was the whole scene. And we just stopped the movie to turn on the chessboard for a second, be like, Star Wars. Remember Star Wars, right? Whereas this is in the movie, and there's a scene going on around it, because when they're flying somewhere, they'll just take a break and play this sometimes, and that's a thing that happens, and that's fine. And this is much more integrated into the movie, and it's a little bit of character development, because we see where our characters are at. We see that these guys are still buddies and they're hanging out with Chewbacca. We see it's part of the movie, and not just stopping the movie to, you know, I bumped into the board and it played that thing. So this is a much more natural, much more organic inclusion of a throwback / fan service kind of moment, which I appreciate.
I will agree with you that it is more integrated, but this is now the third time we've seen the holo chess, because we saw it in Solo as well. And I just feel like it's like they've gone to this particular well a little too, we just saw Woody Harrelson playing chess against Chewbacca in the last movie. So I don't know. And I wish I know, but I wish they would at least like, the new upgrade. They've
referenced everything already. Everything's been referenced. Star Wars Minute. You've gone through every minute of every movie. You know better than anybody. Everything's been referenced already. There's nothing left. Now we're on second references, second and third references.
Yeah, now it's nostalgic for The Force Awakens. That's
right.
The thing.
It is.
Now it's kind of so. I just wish they would like freshen it up, new pieces, or
that's what
like,
they're trying to do. That's what we're gonna get. We're gonna get Ezra Bridger in outer space, and he's gonna be like, exactly. He's gonna be like, hey, I'm new here. Force is gonna do some different things now.
Okay, well that's good, but
bring it on,
or
just end it
here and this one.
You guys just holding on to the past. Kill the past. You guys should just not do any more minutes.
Yeah, it's cute. It's a cute scene. It's less gratuitous than the one in Force Awakens. So so take out the one in Force Awakens. You get to keep this one. You can't have both. That's what I'll say. So anyway,
okay.
They make a point of saying that Chewbacca is. Oh no, that's late in the next minute. They talk about how he's
tomorrow. Yeah.
So
tomorrow.
you know, but I.
What's on your mind, Chris?
Another like these missed opportunities, like, you know, is I would watch instead of a Solo standalone movie, I'd watch a Poe Dameron and Chewbacca doing Han Solo and Chewbacca things. Like, you don't need, like, just put Poe Dameron with Chewbacca and do that. Like,
I wonder if he would do it. I mean, if Oscar Isaacs. Because him and Boyega were both kind of like, they seem kind of. But I wonder if he would, or if he would be like, sure, I'll do it.
You put somebody like you know, if you get somebody interesting making these things, who's got a story to tell, like these are characters that are very endearing. You know, like past that, I think that works for me.
John Boyega and you know, obviously Kelly Marie Tran and a couple of other people had more issues with the way things went. Oscar Isaac will do anything. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. It seems like. So, and you know, obviously Daisy Ridley seems, you know,
she's coming back.
Least affected by things. She's on board. So like Poe and Rey are definitely, I think I would almost guarantee that they will be in future Star Wars projects.
Yeah. You're not going to see, I don't think you're going to see John Boyega until he's an old man. When John Boyega is an old man, then he'll come back and do a Star Wars thing. But as he's in his prime years, he ain't got it. Nor should he.
And I don't mean that as a slam against Oscar Isaac either. I you know, he just is more, he's, you know, striking while the iron is hot. He'll do like...
Yeah, Oscar Isaac is a movie star. And Oscar Isaac is got, I think he would relish what am I talking about? Like I'm talking like I know. He would relish the chance to really flex his acting chops again in this great character. Who the F knows?
I think, they're looking for different things in their career right now, but, down the road, if it happens sooner as opposed to later, I think Rey and Poe will definitely be in them. Other characters, maybe, but they're the ones who I would almost bank on being in the future stuff.
Plus, he just did that Moon Knight thing, so I'm sure he has good relations with Disney and wants to maintain good relations with the Wookiees. So,
right,
we'll see.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to find him in.
But I love these guys, and
things.
I like them with Chewbacca.
Yeah,
like just have them go do some, like don't like just give me one-offs, give me something, give me a special. But that's it. Have a Porg in there, even if you want to put that stupid guy in there, the big sluggy dude.
Well, we'll get there. I know. We got two stupid guys to talk about tomorrow, and I'm super excited.
Well,
who let all these stupid guys on the Falcon? That's what he's got to say. That's what he would be flying around and being like, yeah.
Anything else for minute number 7? Specific to Sheev? Yeah.
No, that's pretty much it.
Although I would also want to just add, I have no idea what were they doing before this? Like, again, coming into these minutes, like my mind is a sieve. I have no recollection of this movie. Like the only memories I have of this movie is the opening shot of Kylo Ren hunting for the beacons, and he's in this and like really cool like shot of him in the snowy woods and cutting shit and then they don't call it a holocron, and then I remember like my head
the Wayfinder.
Yeah, my brain broke at that point, and then like all I remember is kind of Lando. I remember Lando. Here are the only things I remember of this movie. It's that shot of Kylo Ren, and then learning it's a Wayfinder and not a holocron.
Which I breathe a sigh of relief.
Then the Mark Hamill, hey, you came back, and the Mark Hamill alien guy, because I remember
you knew it was Mark Hamill
because I read all the spoilers, so like I remember that, and then the only other memories I have is Lando pulling the curtain to the tent, being like, "Hey, it's Lando, yellow shirt, Lando," and then I remember Ben Solo and then Rey Skywalker saying their names, and that's it. Like all the things in between, zilch. I know Luke Skywalker comes back, but I don't remember. I don't remember how. I don't remember what he says. I don't remember.
You don't remember C-3PO turning evil and.
Oh, that's right. There's Babu Frink. I forgot about that fella. And Babu Frink, we're gonna get in the new Mando.
Frink. Is he? Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he's in the trailer. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna get Babu Frink. See, that's there's Filoni. He's like, oh, I'll fix Babu Frink.
All you missed pretty much before this week was exactly what you talked about, the cool shots of Kylo Ren. The movie just opens with Kylo Ren just doing stuff on Mustafar, finding the Wayfinder, and then driving to Exegol.
I thought these minutes you gave me were like in the middle of the movie. These minutes are in the beginning of the movie.
7.
You just did 7, yeah.
Guys, I literally was like, oh, I thought because you were like, yeah, we're going to start off with you. I'm like, oh, that sounds great. And then I'm looking at this and I'm like, no, they gave me the middle of the movie. Oh, they wanted to give me the Palpatine line. I see what they did. Guys, I had no clue that this is the beginning of the movie.
That's all that's happened.
Great for your audience that's listening. That's loud.
They love it.
Sure.
Well, I guess that will wrap up minute numero. So you will come back tomorrow?
Well, now that I know it's the beginning, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a very good place to start.
Got that straightened away. Well, in addition to our work on Star Wars Minute, Pete and I are also continuing working on our side project podcast. I'm continuing with Godfather Minute. We're waist deep into Godfather 2 by the time this episode airs to this morning. Pete, what's up with the ABCDTOS lately? Where are you guys?
We've been taking our time. About once a month or so, we're releasing an episode covering one of the movies. We're going through the movies, the original cast movies in alphabetical order.
Of Star Trek, yeah.
And of Star Trek, yeah. And the good news for everybody who by traditional wisdom, the odd ones are the less good ones, and the even ones are the better. Even numbered ones are the better ones. Alphabetically, all the odd ones came first. So if you want to jump on now, we're just getting into the even numbered ones and have fun. I love them all, but we're talking about them as we go. So.
All right, so
it's
people
abcdtos.com.
I just want to plug. I want to plug your talented partners on your side projects. Because Andrew is one of the funniest guys around, and your Star Trek pals, I believe it's Joe and Adam. There's another guy in there, isn't there?
Adam's not on there. It's Joe and John Engel. And Tom
I don't know those guys. So I'm not going to comment on that, but I will comment on Joe, and I'd take a bullet for that fella.
Yeah.
So,
You should at least listen to the Joe.
You should
comments.
listen to the Star Trek show. Because Crazy Joe. Pete's okay, and those other two strangers, I take their word for it. But really, Joe.
Oh, there you go. That's what he gets.
Look on Pete. He's like, what are you doing?
All right, then I guess we'll be back tomorrow for another brand new Star Wars Minute.
Star Wars Minute.